What is going down, world? Welcome to the 40s. I go by the name Black Pegasus, and today we're checking out the one, the only Johnny Cash. This one's called One Piece at a Time. I don't know what I'm in for. I have not heard this song at all. I am familiar with Johnny Cash. Y'all have seen some of the reactions on the channel. Some of them you like, some of them you love. But anyways, man, he's the man in blah, 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 black. Anyways, I'm excited to check this out, see what it's about. A bunch of people have been asking for this one in the comment sections. So here we are. Yeah, sheesh. If you guys ready to get into it, like, share, comment, subscribe, and welcome back.
They tease him a lot, black peas on the spot. Welcome back, 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 welcome back. 40.
All right, I'm getting the logo down. I'm pulling the video up. Don't forget to support the original content on the channel. Also, if you want to check out my other channel, Pegasus vs. the World, over there I take on challenges, react to comedy, trending topics, stuff like that. But all the music and the music reactions happen right here on this channel. If you want access to the reactions early, we do have a membership, link in the description, gives you that access, big catalog of reactions that I actually update every day. Yeah. And they haven't been released to the public yet, so you can have fun. All right. Let me clear my throat. Thank you for the support. Huge shout out to all the members. Let's go. This is from Johnny Cash's official YouTube channel, Rest His Soul. But I would love for you guys to go over there and listen to this independently of my reaction, stream his music. We always want to support the original content creator, and reactions aren't a substitute for the original content. Without further ado, let's get it, man. This is the one and only Johnny Cash, and this is titled One Piece at a Time. Sounds like the beginning of the Beach Boys. Okay, now we hear.
Well, I left Kentucky back in '49 and went to Detroit working on assembly line. The first year they had me putting wheels on Cadillacs.
Okay.
Every day I'd watch them beauties roll by, and sometimes I'd hang my head and cry, 'cause I always wanted me one that was long and black. One day I devised myself a plan that should be the envy of most any man. I'd sneak it out of there in a lunchbox in my hand. Now getting caught meant getting fired, but I figured I'd have it all by the time I retired. I'd have me a car worth at least $100 grand. I'd get it one piece at a time, and it wouldn't cost me a dime. You'll know it's me when I come through your town. I'm gonna ride around in style, I'm gonna drive everybody wild, 'cause I'll have the only one there is around.
Holy smokes. If he is talking about, and this is not recommended, this is not life advice, you guys. Yo, this fool is talking about working at a car plant when we actually manufacture stuff in America, and, you know, taking one piece. I think he's talking about taking one piece of this Cadillac out day by day, one piece at a time, and then rebuilding the whole car himself, and it being worth $100 grand, which is crazy. You know, we're in a unique time where there's a lot of theft and robbery and just a lot of crazy going on in 2025. And, you know, the political landscape is pretty wild too, but there's a lot of talk about that. And sometimes, not only do I regret, I feel embarrassed about things that I did in my past, you know, my youth. I'm just going to come clean. When I was young, trying to fit in, there's no excuses. I take full accountability. There were times where I would go out and steal car stereos with one of my buddies. And I didn't do it as much as him, but nevertheless, I still need to, you know, be accountable for that action. But what I will tell you is, fast forward, the karma. I remember the first time I moved out my parents' house, got into my apartment. I moved everything in, and I just took a 15-minute nap, went back outside, and my car stereo was stolen. So talk about circular karma. That isn't the first car stereo I had stolen either. I think I've had 3 in my life of my own. So I don't know if karma exists or not, if you believe in it or not, but it definitely, you know what I'm saying? I just thought that was ironic. But I tell that story to say this. I'm very embarrassed about, having that little klepto phase of my life. I regret it. And then it's just funny hearing him talk about it. I'm like, man, I wasn't so bad. Damn. I wasn't still making a whole Cadillac. So shout out to Johnny Cash for kind of being, outlaw, rebel, rebellious. But there's a balance we got to keep, Anyways, I'm liking the song. It started out the guitar reminded me of something I would hear from the Beach Boys. Then it dropped, and I was like, all right, we hear Johnny. All right, let's go, man. This is Johnny Cash, one piece at a time. And I could be getting this all wrong. Again, I've never heard the song. I don't know where this is going to go. But from the beginning, that's what it sounded like he's conveying to me. He's getting it in.
I'm gonna ride around in style. I'm gonna drive everybody wild, 'cause I'll have the only one there is around. So the very next day when I punched in with my big lunchbox and with help from my friend, I left that day with a lunchbox full of gears. I've never considered myself a thief, but GM wouldn't miss just one little piece, especially if I strung it out over several years. The first day I got me a fuel pump, and the next day I got me an engine and a trunk. Then I got me a transmission and all the chrome. The little things I could get in my big lunchbox, like nuts and bolts and all four shocks, but the big stuff we snuck out my buddy's mobile home. Now up to now my plan went all right till we tried to put it all together one night, and that's when we noticed that something was definitely wrong. The transmission was a 53 and the motor turned out to be a 73, and when we tried to put in the bolts, all the holes were gone. So we drilled it out so that it would fit, and with a little bit of help from an adapter kit, we had that engine running just like a song. Now the headlights, there was another sight. We had two on the left and one on the right, but when we pulled out the switch, all three of them come on. The back end looked kind of funny too, but we put it together, and when we got through, well, that's when we noticed that we only had one tail fin.
Yo, this dude's building the Frankenstein of Cadillacs. Yo, shit ain't even fitting. He didn't even think to get certain. He's like, yo, I'm going to build a 53 or a 73. Like, he just ganking parts. That's crazy. Anyways, I wonder if my mechanics, shout out to Randy and Blake. I love y'all, man. I wonder if they've heard this song. This seems like a song they should be playing at the mechanic shop, bro. I like this. This is kind of tight. Anyways, I ain't gonna lie, even confessing to y'all that and when I say I stole car stereos, literally, I probably sold 2 in my whole, career of that. But I still, man, I know how it felt when it happened to me. And just, it's a stain. It's a stain. I know it's totally different than this song, but since I came clean with you guys here, I feel like you're looking down. It's like I just feel dirty. Wipe your dirt off your shoulders. Anyways, I'm a changed man. All right, Johnny Cash, one piece at a time. Let's go. He's building the Frankensteins of cars. Let's see if he gets it done.
The back end looked kind of funny too, but we put it together, and when we got through, well, that's when we noticed that we only had one tail fin. About that time, my wife walked out, and I could see in her eyes that she had her doubts, but she opened the door and said, "Honey, take me for a spin." So we drove uptown just to get the tags, and I headed to ride on down Main Drag. I could hear everybody laughing for blocks around. But up there at the courthouse, they didn't laugh, 'cause to type it up, it took the whole staff, and when they got through, the title weighed 60 pounds. I got it one piece at a time, and it didn't cost me a dime. You'll know it's me when I come through your town. I'm gonna ride around in style, I'm gonna drive everybody wild, 'cause I'll have the only one there is around. Yeah, Red Rider, this is the Cottonmouth in the Psycho Billy Cadillac, come on. This is a Cottonmouth, and negatory on the cost of this machine there, Red Rider. You might say I went right up to the factory and picked it up. It's cheaper that way. What model is it? Well, it's a 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59 automobile. It's a 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70 automobile.
That's crazy. So he's implying that they used all those different parts from different years, I'm guessing? Because I remember him saying 73 and 53, but he didn't get the 73 in the numbers, but that's because the song ended. My imagination wishes that I had AI to just like make an example of like him just make the car he's talking about, like, you know, just to see what it would look like in a hypothetical realm. But that was crazy. You know, it also made me wonder how, you know, the chop shop where people steal cars and it's called getting chopped up. How does that work? How like I was thinking about him building his own car. Like, don't cars need VIN numbers and, like you said, to get the title and all that different stuff? I don't even know how that works. I just know when I go buy a car, you know, I get the title. Once it's paid off, we whipping and ripping. You got VIN numbers, you know, use all that and your info to get your license plates. But what if you just built a car and wanted to drive it on the road? You know, what happened to emissions tests? Do they still do that? I remember when I was young, always having to get emissions tests in my banged up Honda and my banged up Ford Festiva. And then all of a sudden, just there's no more emissions tests. Not that matter. I don't know. I was just wondering why did I get those, and is that still a thing? Because to get your to renew your plates, I think you had to get emissions tests sometimes. Anyways, I'm mad confused. Shout out to Johnny Cash, bro. One piece at a time. Hey, man, that can go for life of being patient and doing one thing at a time, you know, not necessarily stealing. I do not recommend stealing. I know in his case, he's like, GM won't miss it. They're a big company, man. Let's get it. But, hey, get it out the mud, man. Pull yourself up by those bootstraps if you know what I'm sizzling. Anyways, like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll catch y'all on the next one.
Thank you for being some man. 40 years down the road, back again. FUQ.